Well, thank you for joining me. This is Alex Zarov-Reut on TechAdvice.life TV. We're looking today at the new Galaxy Z Fold6, the Flip6, and the Galaxy Watch Ultra. But Samsung has now made these devices available to buy in Australia. They were available on pre-order. There was some generous pre-order offers, but now you can go into any of the traditional stores and check them out for yourself. Now, I want to start with the Galaxy Z Flip 6. So this is the latest device. I mean, it is just a gorgeous device. There's no gaps in between anymore. It's a very squared off design. We're talking about a 50 megapixel camera, things like automatic zooming when you're taking photographs with the camera on the front, the ability to have translations appear both on the inside screen and on the outside screen. We have the, what looks to be like the biggest screen on the front. We still have obviously this little gap down here, but that's because the cameras are so large. And we have the Snapdragon Galaxy 8 Gen 3 for Samsung. So it's a special device made for the Samsung suite of phones. And that's meant to be more powerful than the traditional one that you'll find in other devices that have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Now, there are a number of AI features inside. And this is what makes the Galaxy devices different. I mean, if I actually go and look into the menu on the phone, into the settings menu, then if I go down here and I have a look, what it says here is that there's actually a section called Galaxy AI. Now, if I tap on that, and look, I don't see this on Google's devices. They are launching their new Pixel devices, the 9 and the 9 Pro, in August, on the 13th of August. We're now in August. And whether they're going to have a similar sort of menu, I just don't know. But, there's Call Assist, where you can have translations from one language to another. The Chat Assist can do the same sort of thing, as well as obviously rewrite some of your chats into more formal or more friendly styles. There's the interpreter that allows you to easily, not just have it spoken what you're saying, but actually appear on the screen at the same time so you can see and they can see as well. The Note Assist, where you can take transcriptions, summarizations, you can record your audio. I mean, it's a very handy feature. You've got to pay money for that with Otter or other devices if you want to be able to get that, not just a recording, which is then converted into a transcript, but then the summarization as well. I find that to be a very, very handy feature. Transcription assist, browsing assist, so you can actually have a web page summarized for you. Photo assist to do a lot of the, you can circle around items and have them magically disappear. Drawing assist, where you can draw something with your, well, in this case with your finger, and then have that sketch turned into something that is more fancy looking. Basically, can turn a sketch into an actual image. And then the photo ambient wallpaper, which says here, see how AI changes your own photo based on the time and the weather. So, arguably this is the nicest flip device, and, effortlessly turns into a full screen phone. You can answer calls right on the front and just use it as a speakerphone. It comes with beautiful accessories as well. You can buy various cases that clip onto the top and clip onto the bottom. My favorite one is one that has a ring. I mean, I wish Samsung would send some of the accessories so I could show you, but you'll see these in stores. But there's also an NFC card you can place on the back here, which can light up with different styles. And I mean, it's just a nice little cool thing. Kids are going to love that more than adults will. And, it lights up. It's a lot of fun. So this is really such a beautiful device. And I mean, if you're new to the Samsung ecosystem, one of the Flips is probably something you want to go with if you don't want the larger tablet experience. And yes, you can see if I you can see that right there, you can see that there is a crease in the middle, but it's the shallowest crease that they've ever had. And look, one day they'll figure out how to make it without a crease, but in everyday use, you just get used to it and you stop noticing it. It's like anything else that you might have come across, where you see something at first, but then it just floats into the background. So look, you can go to the Samsung. They have a great selection of different colors, and they can explain all the different features. I mean, there even is a vapor chamber inside this phone for the first time, which keeps it cooler for longer, so that when you're playing games, it doesn't have to throttle itself because it's going at full bore. So this is definitely a beautiful phone. So I've got some pricing to share with you. Now, the Flip 6 in blue, silver shadow, or mint is in Australian dollars, 1,799. That's with 12 gigabytes of RAM and a 256 gig of storage. And you can pay $19.99, just under $2,000, to get that with 12 gigabytes of storage. And of course, if you're going to buy one of these, then you can also buy it on a plan. I mean, the plans are very affordable these days, and you can go with Telstra, Vodafone, or Optus. You can get it on a year, 2 years. Some of the telcos that you get it for 3 years. And given the fact that a lot of people hang on to their phones for 3 years, you don't have to pay it all up front. And of course, they'll keep getting updates for, I think it's about 7 years. So you'll get more of the AI features that come on board over time. So now I want to show you the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Now, again, this is the 6th generation of Samsung's devices. And look, whilst it is narrower than, this phone, and if I hold up an iPhone 15 Pro Max, you can see it's narrow. It's certainly narrower than the Samsung Galaxy S24 series, which is, a large phone. I mean, you can still type quite easily. A lot of people do the swipe typing anyway, holding with one hand, and you can just swipe so easily, or even just speak. I mean, it converts your voice into text very easily. But when you unfold it, then you get this phablet style experience. Now, again, you can see the crease there. If I hold it, the crease is there, but once again, it's the shallowest crease they've had thus far. And I remember seeing at the launch of this particular phone in Australia, they had all the generations, and the original Fold, it sort of, when it sort of popped open, it wasn't this smooth expression, this smooth feeling. But we do have the 3 cameras here. And again, we have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. But this also has all of those AI features. And again, Samsung's the first to truly bring a whole suite of AI features. I mean, of course, they also have the ability to circle to search, which is one of the Google capabilities, where you can just tap and hold on either the line or the main circular button, depending on which interface you use to swipe or to push buttons to go backwards and forwards into apps. But you can then circle around. So if I was to show you that, I can just tap right on the bottom. And when I do, it's showing me that we have the ability to do circle to search. And so there's an example of it there. And, I can then draw a circle around with my finger, and then Google will pop up and it will show me what I visually search for. This phone also comes with a case that you can have the Galaxy stylus in there. Again, Samsung, I wish they'd sent me some of these cases and the styluses so I could show you, but you will find them in all the different stores. Samsung has their own stores as well, where you'll see the full range. But it's arguably the best phone. And, you can attach a little Bluetooth keyboard. You can easily get them from any number of stores, or Amazon, Temu. I'm sure Samsung themselves sells it. Even the Bluetooth keyboards you buy in Officeworks or JB Hi-Fi, that will just connect to this, and away you go. You can even buy a little stand. And this is your laptop. This is not just a phone or a tablet, but it's a computer. I mean, it's a full-on computer. So truly impressive stuff. And, the way that Samsung explains its features, it says that Galaxy AI, they have these unique form factors, and they advance communication, productivity, and creativity. And that's the case, as we heard with those AI features. With communication, you can easily understand someone in different languages because of the interpreter mode and the conversation mode. You've got the dual screen form factor, so you've got something on the front. I mean, you can have it this way and have information appear on the screen there when people are in interpreter mode. But and then, of course, you can open it up and see things on the big wide screen. You've got suggested replies in the messages. This recommends tailored responses to messages without even needing to open your device, because, again, you'll see it on the front screen. You can do social posts as well based on a few simple keywords. You've got the Note Assist, which gives you this new PDF overlay translation feature. You've got the transcription of audio files. And then with the photos, you've got this suite of AI-powered editing tools to create much nicer content. The Flex Cam has the auto zoom, which automatically frames up great selfies. And, as I was saying before, they're slim, they're light. I mean, they've got a lot bigger batteries than before. This is a millimeter and a bit smaller than the one from last year. This screen ratio does fit very comfortably in the hand. I mean, that's one of the reasons why Samsung actually made it narrow, because it's so comfortable to hold like this and to talk. And, it just doesn't feel like 2 phones stuck together like some of the earlier models did, because they were trying to do something quite, different with that whole folding capability. And, I know that we do have Motorola phones that flip. We have the Google Pixel Fold, which should come to Australia as the Fold 2. And, we haven't seen Apple do anything in this space. So you definitely have cutting edge technology. And Samsung's only going to make these better and better as time goes on. And of course, this also has the vapor chamber. It's now even bigger, which keeps the phone cooler for longer when it's doing really, intensive work with playing games. I mean, that's the big thing. And of course, this is a nice big screen to be doing games on. Now, you do have to ask yourself, do you want to get a traditional, whether it's the iPhone or whether it's the Samsung Galaxy S24, not going for the Ultra, for example, and then getting a tablet to have two separate devices, which you can then share, twice the battery life. But there's something that's truly cool and unique about a folding device. So let's have a look at some of the prices. And I've got them here on my screen. You're talking about $2,749. They all come with 12 gigabytes, but that's for the 256 gig version. The 512 gig version is $2,949, and the 1 terabyte version is $3,299. So in Australia, we've broken the $3,000 barrier, but these devices are definitely cutting edge. And I mean, my iPhone 15 Pro Max was $2,749 or thereabouts. So similar in price. This is for the 1 terabyte model. And again, if you don't have $3,000 spare dollars to just splash on a new phone, you can get it from the various providers at a much more affordable monthly pricing, whether over 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. And what really sets these devices apart is their AI capabilities. And of course, better cameras and longer battery life and slimmer, but it's the AI that you may not even realize you can use yet. But once you start using it, it's just very cool to have those features. And soon we'll wonder how we lived without them, because of the fact that, they simply weren't possible before. And, the onboard neural processing unit of these devices is being put to full effect. So, if you are looking for an Android phone and you want something that's a bit more exciting than just the traditional phone, you want something different, you want something that your friends are going to go, wow, look at that. And you can afford it, which, with the monthly plans is so much easier to handle, then I would definitely consider getting one of these. And if possible, don't go for the base 256 gig model. I mean, look, have a look at your phone now, see what sort of storage it is taking up. But, if you've got a 128, I mean, of course, going to 256 will be double what you already have. But there are plenty of people with phones, that are 32 or 64, older phones. I mean, just going to 256 will be a big jump. But it's only a $200 difference on this particular phone to go from the 256 to 512. So it's definitely worth considering going up a level at least. And if possible, go for whatever the biggest model is, because you'll just have plenty of storage and you'll have a higher resale value, a higher trade-in value when it comes later down the line. Now, we also have the new Galaxy Watch series. And here, the Galaxy 7, Watch 7, which is the traditional one. I mean, this has a lot of wellness features that are built in. So obviously you've got the motivation to create healthier days. You can track over 100 different workouts. You can have different routines by combining various exercises together. You've got this race feature where you can race against yourself, compare your current and past performance in real time. You also get this complete body health and fitness snapshot with a body composition for this more comprehensive understanding of your body. Real-time alerts about low heart rates or abnormally heart rates with heart rate monitoring. And I'm sure it does afibrillation as well, which is a standard feature these days. The electrocardiogram feature and blood pressure monitor, something we haven't seen in Apple's devices. And there's an enhanced bioactive sensor with more accuracy, so you can really understand yourself better. And it's got a new 3-nanometer processor, so it's their most powerful processor in a watch, and this is 3 times faster than the previous model, 30% improved power efficiency, and it's got a dual frequency GPS, which can more precisely track your location, even in areas where you've got lots of buildings in the cities, or you've got forest overhead. And you've got the circular design, which is sort of different to the squarish design of the Apple devices. And then you've also got double pinch. So this is something similar we saw with the Apple Watch last year, where you can double tap on something, not have to, if you're holding a whole bunch of things, you don't have to actually tap something on the watch. You can just double tap and answer a call or turn off an alarm, and also use the Samsung Wallet to make payments. So there's a 40mm version of that and a 44mm version in green and cream, and the 44mm version is available in green and silver. And then we have the Galaxy Watch Ultra. Now, this does look similar to the Apple Watch Ultra, and it does look as though it has a sort of a squarish design, but it's still a round watch face. And on this particular model, you do have what looks like a digital crown, but it doesn't spin here. You can actually put your finger around the bezel there, and it can go through different things. So it's a different way of achieving the same sort of thing as a digital crown. And this watch, This takes things to the next level, much like the Apple Watch Ultra did. So obviously it has all the same sort of health monitoring features and the powerful hardware that you've got inside the Watch 7. But you now have this dynamic lug system, so you can push the button here and pull these things out much more easily, just like you can on Apple Watch devices, and easily change the bands. This particular one came with an orange band. And you've got this titanium grade frame. You've got 10 ATM water resistance. It's got a wider range of altitudes that it operates at. And, obviously you want to track those advanced fitness experiences like swimming in the ocean or cycling in extreme environments. Of course, you can track these multi-course workouts like for triathlons or swimming to running and cycling. And there's also a new functional threshold power for cycling accuracy, which measures your maximum cycling power in just 4 minutes with AI-powered metrics to unlock your full potential. You've also got this personalized heart rate zone, so you can work out at your optimum intensity levels. And there's also a button, this new quick button on the top here, and you can instantly initiate and control workouts or activate emergency sirens. And you can check your stats at a glance with a bunch of dedicated watch faces, as you would imagine. And in the dark, this actually shows a red interface. I'm just trying to make it a bit dark here so we can see that. But the red light is obviously much kinder on the eyes in dark environments. But it does have a peak brightness of 3000 nits. So even in bright sunlight, you can still read it carefully. And you've got very long battery life, the longest in the Galaxy Watch lineup. So these are also the first Android smartwatches to be powered by Wear OS 5, which is the operating system that Google has made for smartwatches. And no doubt Google will launch a new watch this year as well, but they are unlikely to offer a rugged model like we have with the Watch Ultra. And this Wear OS 5, basically it's just the newest version of the watch operating system, which is fun. And you also have plenty of apps that you can download. There's Galaxy services, Google apps, and fan favorite third-party apps. In fact, when you set it up, it wants to download a bunch of apps, Strava and SoundCloud and various things that it just recommends that you try. I mean, obviously not all of those are necessarily going to be free if you want the full version, but Samsung does have a whole stack of apps as well. And it's all part of the ecosystem. All of these devices work together in this beautiful ecosystem, and much like Apple does, because you want them all to work nicely together. And if you have Samsung tablets and Samsung computers, I mean, some of those things, like the computers are available overseas, you could order them, but everything works together really nicely. And that's something that you want. You want to be part of an ecosystem where everything is just seamless. And, we're in a very mature time. Now, if you have the Ring as well that you can get, that will obviously be part of the ecosystem as well for things like sleep, but we don't have the Ring here in Australia as yet. It is going to come. So look, once again, these devices are just the coolest Android devices you can get. I mean, I know Google Pixel has the purest experience and they will allow you to update to the next version of Android more quickly, but Samsung always brings these updates relatively quickly, and obviously the all the features and functionality that you're used to keep working up until you get the new version, and then you get whatever those newest versions are, and you get all the important security updates. Very important to update because there are cyber criminals targeting older versions of the any operating system, whether it's iPhone or Android or Windows, whatever it might be. Very important to put all the updates. But again, the beautiful Flip 6, the beautiful Fold 6, which just effortlessly opens up into a much larger display. And of course, the Galaxy Watch Ultra, which is, if it's the best watch you can get in the Android space and a worthy competitor to the Apple Watch Ultra. And obviously, we're going to see what Google launches. We're going to see what Apple launches. But, we're talking premium flagship quality devices designed to last for many years. 7 years of updates, like you have with Apple, which has been doing updates for a long time. We now have the same sort of parity there on the Android side of the fence. And if they launch even nicer versions next year that you want, you can go through different trade-up programs to get a good value for what you've already got and get the latest versions then. But they're available now. I urge you to go and have a look at them in stores, have a play with them for yourself. If you've got a Samsung store in your city, you can go there as well. They'll have, a big range of accessories on display, but, just go to your local JB Hi-Fi or Officeworks or Harvey Norman, you'll see various accessories and displays there as well. And if you're watching from overseas, your local computer and electronic superstores will have all that on display as well. And you probably have Samsung stores where you are as well. So it's been great to play with these. I've had them for about a week or so. Don't want to give them back, but unfortunately you have to do that. So thanks for joining me for another episode of TechAdvice.Life TV.